Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, it used to be the American dream, right? Owning your own home. Well, in 2019, maybe not so much for everybody because there's some pros and cons between renting and owning. And Kelsey Grubaugh from Arvest Bank is here, and we're kind of going to discuss some of those pros and cons, whether it's the right time to decide to buy a home or not. So, Kelsey, what are some of the pros and cons of owning your own home? When is it the right time to say, you know, maybe I'm ready to buy my own home?
So a great place to start is crunching all the numbers, because everybody's lifestyle, priorities, and where they are in their life right now are going to be different.
Kind of talk about if someone comes to you and says, you know, I'm thinking, I'm on the fence here. I don't know if this is the right time to buy or the right time to continue renting. What are some of the things that you're going to look at when they come to you and kind of talk out with them?
Sure. So we look at what they might be paying in monthly rent currently, and then what their mortgage payment would look like on a purchase price that they might qualify for, or what they're looking to qualify for. So some costs that would be associated in that monthly payment that they aren't going to be having in that monthly rent are going to be their property taxes, their homeowner's insurance, possibly some mortgage insurance if that loan requires it, and then association dues or neighborhood association dues if that home in the neighborhood requires that. So those are going to be additional costs that we would compare the monthly rent versus the monthly mortgage payment.
Also, even, you know, sometimes things go wrong with your home.
Sure.
You got to factor in maintenance as well, right?
Yes, so that's a big factor as well. So we want to make sure that somebody has a little bit of savings at least to offset some of those expenses that they may not have when they're renting. So if the appliances break or the roof leaks, they're going to have to fix those on their own as a homeowner versus having a landlord do that. But we are seeing the monthly rent rise versus the home prices as well, because landlords and property managers are putting those kind of associated with that monthly rent to make sure that they cover those expenses as well.
Sure. So at times you're saying that your mortgage payment could actually be a little bit less, maybe a lot cheaper
Sure.
than rent price.
In a lot of cases that we see that total monthly mortgage payment even being less than what they're paying in rent or very similar.
Oh, wow. And what would you say to somebody that might be working in an area, but they don't know if they're going to be living in that city for another, 6 months, another year? If you're going to be in an area for a short period of time, is it a good idea to buy at that time, or maybe stay renting?
There are definitely certain situations where renting is going to be better than buying, and we definitely look at that. There are some short-term mortgage options available at Arvest. We have some adjustable rate mortgages that have some great interest rates right now. They're very low, but we also want to. There are some additional costs with owning a home that somebody who isn't sure that they want to stay there in that area, that they may not want to have with moving and all of that. So it might be more convenient to be renting during that time.
Sure. And I think the main thing when it comes down to renting versus buying, because we all have to ask ourselves, this question as well from time to time, is, are you ready to start paying into an asset that you own? Because, some people don't like continuously paying money to a landlord every single month. Kind of talk about what that exactly means to have your home as an asset.
Sure. So it's one of the best ways to build an asset. It can be, for some people, the biggest investment that they're ever going to make in their financial life. So it is really good for building that equity position in your financial goals and accruing that value as time goes on. And you can really see that whenever you go to sell or refinance, how much you can accrue over that time.
And if you are maybe considering, looking at least the option of buying a home, and a lot of people come from situations where they're renting before they buy their first home. How much time should you budget to look for properties, to get all your paperwork in line, and to start making offers? Should you start looking 3 months out before your lease expires, 6 months, a year? What is the right time frame?
That really can vary drastically, and even in our area, inventory is pretty low right now. So we are seeing time frames taking longer for someone who is pre-qualified. But as far as when that process starts, we see people that come in and have done research way beforehand, and they have everything in line. And then we have some people that have decided, I think I might want to buy, and they come in and we can get them pre-qualified in 24 hours. So it varies so much between that time frame, but it's great if you can anticipate, getting everything in line, knowing what your financial situation looks like, crunching those numbers beforehand, but then getting with a local lender and seeing where you would qualify, how much you'd qualify for, and going from there. And closing dates, we're typically seeing once they do find a property, then the closing time frame is typically within 30 days.
All right, Kelsey Grubaugh from Arvest Bank, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.